Right then, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm absolutely delighted you've decided to tune in today because we're about to explore something that could genuinely transform your life: how to master English whilst actually enjoying every moment of the journey. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Learning English is terribly difficult, or perhaps, I've had a go before and simply gave up. But here's the thing: learning English needn't be tedious, frustrating, or overwhelming in the slightest. When you approach it properly, it becomes thrilling, delightful, and something you'll genuinely look forward to each morning. English isn't merely a language, you see. It's rather like having a master key, one that unlocks doors to opportunities across the globe, fascinating new friendships, brilliant career prospects, and even a richer understanding of our interconnected world. Today, I'm going to share some remarkably effective, straightforward, and enjoyable strategies that will transform your English learning adventure into something not only successful, but truly inspiring. Whether you're just beginning or you've been at it for ages and feel rather stuck, this is precisely for you. So do grab a notepad, stay with me until the very end, and prepare to completely shift your perspective, because learning English is about to become considerably easier and infinitely more enjoyable. Let me share a little story with you first. When I was quite young, English was completely foreign to me. I felt absolutely terrified, if I'm being honest. Then, something rather wonderful happened. I began listening to stories told in English. I made it a daily habit, religiously listening every single day. Gradually, almost magically, I started to comprehend what I was hearing. The words became crystal clear, and that dreadful fear simply melted away. You see, listening is absolutely fundamental to learning any language well. When you listen regularly, you encounter fresh vocabulary naturally. You discover proper pronunciation, and more importantly, you learn how words actually function in real conversation. So make listening to English a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Listen to captivating stories, toe-tapping music, or even the evening news. It makes an extraordinary difference, I can assure you. Now, let's discuss practice, shall we? There's that old saying, practice makes perfect, and it's absolutely spot on. During my learning journey, I practiced religiously every single day. I spoke English aloud, even when I made rather embarrassing mistakes. But here's the crucial bit: mistakes are perfectly fine. They are actually your best teachers. So please, don't be afraid to speak. Chat away in English every day, even if it's just to yourself initially. Reading is another absolutely brilliant way to improve. You can start with wonderfully simple books. Those with pictures are particularly helpful as they provide context for the story. As you read, you'll naturally absorb new vocabulary and discover how words work together in sentences. I remember reading a delightful story about a lost cat once. It was beautifully simple, yet I was completely enchanted. I picked up countless new words from that single tale. The more I read, the more fluent my English became. So do read as much as you possibly can, it's tremendously beneficial. Writing is equally important in your learning journey. When you write, you're actively using the vocabulary you've acquired, learning to weave words together into coherent thoughts. Begin with small pieces. Perhaps write about your day, your family, or anything that captures your imagination. The more you write, the more confident you'll become. During my learning days, I kept a little notebook with me everywhere. I wrote in it daily about school adventures, dear friends, and my wildest dreams. I made countless mistakes, naturally, but each error taught me something valuable. Writing gave me tremendous confidence and made me feel genuinely accomplished. Watching English videos is not only educational, but absolutely entertaining. You might enjoy cartoons, films, or television programs. When you watch, You hear authentic pronunciation and discover how native speakers actually communicate. I particularly remember a hilarious cartoon about a mischievous dog that had me in stitches whilst teaching me loads of new vocabulary. Watching helped me understand the natural rhythm and flow of English conversation. So do watch as many videos as you can manage. They're incredibly helpful. Conversing with others is another superb learning method. If you're fortunate enough to have English-speaking friends, chat with them regularly. If you don't, you can easily find conversation partners online. There are loads of people worldwide who are learning English just like you, and they are often delighted to practice together. I had a wonderful friend who spoke English beautifully. We chatted every single day without fail. When I made mistakes, which happened frequently, she'd gently correct me with such kindness. Those conversations were absolutely invaluable. I learned new words and, more importantly, how to use them naturally in conversation. So do find someone to chat with regularly. Patience is absolutely crucial in this journey. Learning any new language takes considerable time. It simply doesn't happen overnight. Be wonderfully patient with yourself, and whatever you do, don't give up. Keep pushing forward, even when things feel challenging. Remember, every tiny step forward counts enormously. I recall feeling rather dejected when I couldn't understand something, but I never gave up. I kept going steadily, and slowly but surely, I improved. I learned more and more each day. So always remember to be patient with yourself. You'll absolutely get there, one step at a time. A dictionary becomes your absolute best friend when learning English. It helps you understand unfamiliar words completely. Whenever you encounter a word you don't know, look it up immediately. Learn its meaning, discover how to pronounce it correctly, then try using it in your own sentence. I used to carry a compact dictionary everywhere I went. Every time I heard an intriguing new word, I'd look it up straight away, then practice using it in conversation. This habit helped me build an extensive vocabulary remarkably quickly. So always keep a dictionary handy, it's absolutely indispensable. Playing games in English is both educational and thoroughly entertaining. Games help you learn without feeling like you're studying at all. There are countless games designed specifically for English learners, word games, crossword puzzles, or quiz games. During my learning period, I played a competitive word game with friends. We'd race to find as many words as possible, and whoever found the most would win. It was such an enjoyable way to learn, and I discovered loads of new vocabulary through play. So do incorporate English games into your routine. They make learning absolutely delightful. Try thinking in English as well, though this might feel rather strange initially. When you think in English, you're constantly practicing your skills. You learn to use familiar vocabulary and construct sentences quickly and naturally. I began thinking in English during my learning journey. At first, it felt quite odd. I had to translate everything in my head. But gradually, it became second nature. I started thinking in English without even realizing it. So do attempt thinking in English. It accelerates your progress tremendously. Setting goals is absolutely brilliant for staying focused and motivated. Goals give you something concrete to work towards and help measure your progress. Start with modest, achievable goals, perhaps learn 5 new words each day, or read 1 page of an English book daily. When you reach your goals, you'll feel genuinely proud and motivated to continue. I set small, manageable goals throughout my learning journey. My first goal was learning 10 new words weekly, then progressing to reading an entire English book. Achieving these goals filled me with such satisfaction and showed me how much I was improving. So do set clear goals. They are tremendously helpful for maintaining momentum. Reviewing what you've learned is absolutely essential for retention. When you review regularly, information sticks much better in your memory. Look over your notes, reread your writing, or listen to the same stories again. The more you review, the more you'll remember. I made reviewing my notes a weekly habit, reading through them repeatedly. This helped me remember everything I'd learned and showed me how much progress I was making. So always make time for review, it's incredibly beneficial. Staying positive throughout your learning journey is absolutely vital. Learning a new language can indeed be challenging, but maintaining a positive attitude makes everything considerably easier. Believe in yourself wholeheartedly, you absolutely can do this. When you feel discouraged, remember exactly why you started this journey. Keep your ultimate goal firmly in mind. I had moments when I felt like giving up entirely, but I maintained a positive outlook. I constantly reminded myself that I was capable of success, and eventually, I was. Staying positive helped me enormously throughout the process. So always maintain that positive attitude, it will help you reach your destination. Don't be afraid of making mistakes either. Mistakes are an absolutely integral part of learning. Everyone makes them without exception. When you make an error, don't feel embarrassed or discouraged. Learn from it instead, as it will help you improve dramatically. I made countless mistakes during my learning process, but I never let them discourage me. I learned from each one and became stronger. So embrace your mistakes. They are actually your most effective teachers. Most importantly, enjoy the entire journey. Learning English is precisely that, a journey filled with fascinating discoveries. Embrace it wholeheartedly and have tremendous fun with it. The more you enjoy the process, the easier everything becomes. During my learning adventure, I savored every single step. I loved discovering new vocabulary and understanding fresh stories. Enjoying the journey made it genuinely fun and helped me learn much faster. So do enjoy your personal journey. It makes learning English considerably easier and infinitely more rewarding. As we continue exploring effective learning strategies, remember to surround yourself completely with English. This means immersing yourself in the language as much as humanly possible. Listen to English music, watch English films, read English signs and advertisements. Basically, consume English content wherever you encounter it. The more you see and hear English naturally, the more you'll absorb without conscious effort. I remember making a rather bold decision early in my learning journey. I changed my mobile phone's language setting to English. Initially, it was quite challenging to understand everything, but I adapted quickly. Every time I used my phone, I encountered English naturally and learned something new. So do surround yourself with English at every opportunity. It accelerates learning tremendously. Repetition is another absolutely crucial element when learning any new language effectively. When you repeat something multiple times, it becomes firmly embedded in your memory. Don't hesitate to practice the same words or sentences repeatedly until they become completely natural. I used to repeat new vocabulary aloud every single day, saying each word until it became effortless to remember. Repetition built my confidence enormously and made everything feel much more natural. So repeat everything you learn religiously. It makes an extraordinary difference. Sometimes learning can feel rather monotonous, but you can make it tremendously entertaining. Try singing English songs. Singing helps you remember vocabulary whilst being absolutely delightful. You can also create little stories using new words you've learned, transforming learning into an engaging game. I used to sing English songs every morning, which made me feel cheerful and eager to learn more. Sometimes I'd invent amusing stories using my newest vocabulary, which made learning genuinely enjoyable. So find creative ways to make learning fun. It keeps you wonderfully motivated. Use newly learned vocabulary immediately and frequently. When you discover a new word, incorporate it into sentences straight away. Use it when speaking or writing. The more you use it, the better you'll remember it. I remember learning the word beautiful and using it to describe absolutely everything around me. The sky was beautiful, the flowers were beautiful, even my breakfast was beautiful. Using the word constantly helped me remember it perfectly. So always use what you learn immediately, it dramatically improves retention. Don't rush your learning journey either. Take your time and enjoy every moment. Learning English isn't a race. It's perfectly acceptable to progress slowly and take regular breaks. The most important thing is maintaining consistent forward momentum. Even learning just one word daily represents genuine progress. I sometimes felt I wasn't advancing quickly enough during my learning period, but then I realized every small achievement counted enormously. Every new word represented significant progress. So don't rush, take your time and savor the entire process. Keeping an English journal is another brilliant learning strategy. Write about your day, your thoughts, your dreams, or anything that interests you. Writing regularly helps you practice English daily whilst providing a lovely record of your progress. I maintained a journal throughout my learning journey. Initially, I could only manage short, simple sentences, but gradually my writing became longer and more sophisticated. It felt wonderful to see tangible improvement over time. So do keep a journal. It's an excellent way to practice consistently. Ask questions whenever you're uncertain about something. If you don't understand something completely, ask for clarification. Asking questions demonstrates curiosity and eagerness to learn more effectively. Don't feel shy about questioning. There are absolutely no silly questions when it comes to learning. I asked countless questions during my learning journey of teachers, friends, and even myself. Asking questions helped me understand concepts much better. So always ask when you're unsure. It accelerates learning significantly. Sometimes you might feel tired or frustrated with your progress. That's perfectly normal and completely understandable. When you feel exhausted, take a proper break. Relax completely for a while, then return to learning with renewed energy and enthusiasm. I remember feeling weary of studying occasionally, but after taking refreshing breaks and doing something enjoyable, I'd return ready to learn again. Taking breaks prevents burnout and keeps you feeling fresh and motivated. So don't forget to rest regularly. It helps you stay energized and ready to learn. Celebrate your progress at every opportunity. Whenever you reach a goal, no matter how small, celebrate it properly. Did you learn a new word? Celebrate. Did you finish reading a book? Celebrate. Recognizing your achievements maintains motivation and makes the journey more enjoyable. When I reached personal goals, I treated myself kindly. Sometimes I'd have a slice of cake, other times I'd watch my favorite film. Celebrating made learning genuinely fun and gave me something to anticipate eagerly. So do celebrate your progress regularly. It keeps you excited about learning. Try learning with others whenever possible. Learning with friends or in a group can be tremendously helpful and enjoyable. You can support each other, share useful tips and strategies, and make the entire experience more social and fun. I had a wonderful friend who was also learning English. We studied together weekly, helping each other and practicing conversation regularly. Learning with my friend made everything considerably easier and more enjoyable. So find someone to learn alongside. It makes the journey much more pleasant. Listen to yourself speak regularly as well. When you speak or read aloud, pay attention to how you sound. This helps improve your pronunciation significantly. You can even record yourself and listen back carefully to identify areas for improvement. I used to record myself reading stories, then listen to the recordings afterwards. Initially, hearing my own voice felt rather strange, but it helped me improve pronunciation dramatically. I learned to pronounce words much more accurately. So listen to yourself regularly. It's an excellent way to improve. Don't compare yourself to others either. Everyone learns at their own unique pace. Some people learn faster, others more slowly, and that's perfectly fine. Focus entirely on your personal progress and celebrate your individual achievements. There were times when I compared myself to others and felt they were progressing faster than me. But then I realized my journey was uniquely mine. I was making steady progress, and that's what truly mattered. So avoid comparisons, focus solely on your own learning journey. Be wonderfully creative in your learning approach as well. Use your imagination freely when studying. Draw pictures to help remember vocabulary, write poems or songs using new words. Being creative makes learning more engaging and memorable. I loved drawing pictures representing new words I'd learned. It made studying colorful and entertaining. Sometimes I'd write little poems incorporating fresh vocabulary, which helped me remember everything much better. So embrace creativity. It makes learning considerably more enjoyable. Staying organized is absolutely crucial for effective learning. When you're well organized, studying becomes much easier and more efficient. Keep all your notes in one dedicated place. Make lists of vocabulary you want to learn and establish a regular study schedule. Being organized helps you stay focused and on track. I kept all my learning materials in a special folder and made vocabulary lists, checking off words as I mastered them. Staying organized helped me remain focused and productive. So be methodical, it makes learning much more manageable. Consistency is absolutely key to successful language learning. Try to study a little bit every single day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Regular, consistent practice is far more effective than occasional lengthy study sessions. I made studying English a daily habit without exception. Some days I studied for hours, other days just briefly, but I always did something. This consistency helped me improve steadily and dramatically. So be consistent, it's essential for reaching your goals. Be wonderfully kind to yourself throughout this journey. Learning a new language is genuinely challenging. There will inevitably be difficult days when everything feels overwhelming. On those days, be gentle and compassionate with yourself. Remind yourself that you're doing your absolute best and making real progress. Keep going steadily, and don't be too harsh on yourself. I had frustrating days when nothing seemed to work, but I learned to treat myself kindly. I reminded myself that making mistakes was perfectly normal and that I was learning constantly. So be kind to yourself. It helps you maintain a positive outlook. Using flashcards is another brilliant learning technique. Flashcards are perfect for memorizing new vocabulary effectively. Write the word on one side and its meaning on the reverse, then review them frequently. It's a simple yet powerful way to remember words. I used flashcards extensively during my learning period, carrying them everywhere I went. Whenever I had spare moments, I'd review them quickly. Flashcards helped me learn enormous amounts of vocabulary efficiently. So use flashcards regularly, they're an excellent learning tool. Try to immerse yourself completely in English as well. This means using English as extensively as possible in your daily life. Think in English, speak in English, write in English. The more you use the language, the more natural it becomes. I attempted to immerse myself in English as much as humanly possible. I thought in English, spoke to myself in English, and wrote everything in English. This total immersion helped me become genuinely comfortable with the language. So immerse yourself fully, it accelerates learning remarkably. Curiosity is a tremendously powerful motivator for learning. When you're genuinely curious, you naturally want to discover more, ask questions, explore new concepts, and remain eager to learn constantly. I was incredibly curious throughout my English learning adventure. I wanted to understand every word's meaning and asked countless questions about everything. This curiosity kept me motivated and made learning genuinely exciting. So cultivate curiosity. It will inspire you to learn more effectively. Remember to review your goals regularly as well. As you progress, your goals might naturally change and evolve. Perhaps you've achieved a goal and need to set a fresh one. Maybe your current goal has become too easy or too challenging. Reviewing goals regularly helps you stay properly focused and motivated. I reviewed my personal goals monthly, checking whether I needed to establish new ones. Sometimes I made goals more ambitious, other times more achievable. Regular goal review kept me focused and moving forward consistently. So review your goals frequently. It maintains forward momentum. Take advantage of online resources extensively. There are countless websites, applications, and videos designed specifically to help English learners. They offer structured lessons, interactive quizzes, and engaging games, making learning more enjoyable and effective than ever. I used online resources constantly during my learning journey. I watched educational videos, completed quizzes, and played interactive games regularly. These resources made learning fun and wonderfully interactive. So utilize online resources fully, they're incredibly helpful. Learn about English-speaking cultures as well. Language and culture are intrinsically connected. When you understand the culture, you comprehend the language much more deeply. You discover how native speakers actually use words in real-life situations and contexts. I thoroughly enjoyed learning about English culture during my studies. I explored holidays, fascinating traditions, and even culinary customs. This cultural knowledge made learning English considerably more interesting and meaningful. So study the culture alongside the language. It enhances understanding dramatically. Maintaining motivation is absolutely essential throughout your learning journey. Sometimes progress feels slow or particularly challenging, but staying motivated helps you persevere through difficulties. Discover what motivates you personally. It might be rewards, specific goals, or encouraging friends who support your efforts. I stayed motivated by setting small rewards for myself regularly. Every time I achieved a goal, I treated myself to something special. This kept me genuinely excited about learning and progressing. So identify your personal motivation. It helps you stay committed. Be patient with yourself consistently. Learning any new language requires considerable time and effort. It's perfectly normal if you don't understand everything immediately. Give yourself adequate time to learn and absorb information naturally. There were occasions when I felt frustrated by my apparently slow progress, but I reminded myself to remain patient. I knew that with dedicated time and effort, I would steadily improve. So be patient with yourself always, you will absolutely succeed. Listen to different English accents from around the world. English is spoken in numerous countries, and people naturally have varying accents and pronunciation styles. Listening to diverse accents helps you understand English more comprehensively and prepares you for real-world communication. I listened to English speakers from various countries, the United Kingdom, United States, Australia, Canada, and many others. This exposure helped me understand different speaking styles and regional variations. So listen to various accents. It broadens your understanding significantly. Try using English in genuine real-life situations whenever possible. If you travel anywhere, attempt to speak English with locals. If you meet English speakers, engage them in conversation. Real-world practice is tremendously valuable and builds practical confidence. I used English whenever I traveled abroad, speaking with people even if I could only manage a few simple words. This authentic practice helped me enormously and built my confidence dramatically. So use English in real situations. It makes you more confident and capable.